Hey guys, welcome back. This is a part 2 to one of my spooky Reddit reads, episode 54. So if you did not hear the first part of the UFO for 54, please probably back out because it'll be confusing and go listen to that one first and come back. Sorry I had to make it to, unfortunately it was just way too long, but there's a lot of descriptors, which is great. So we're picking right back up where we left off. And that he left off saying that maybe 10 minutes later it came back. I had reached a part of the road where it kind of straightened back out again for a bit, and I saw it come over the horizon, place itself in front of me in the air, the same distance in front of me and above me as before. This time my stomach kind of dropped and I slowed way down to maybe 25 miles per hour. I hadn't seen another car in about 15 to 20 minutes. So I wasn't worried about getting rear-ended or anything. I just stared at the spear as I crept forward along the road in my van. I had rolled down the windows after I first saw it to get some air, and I remember listening for propellers of a helicopter or a drone, but the only thing that I could hear was my tires slowly moving along the ground. Again, everything around me was lit up in unnaturally white light in a large area. I slowly drove at it for about an entire minute, and then suddenly it shot off almost directly over me to my 5 or 6 o'clock again, and it accelerated in a super strange way, like someone grabbing the movement slider thing on a 3D object in Blender or something and just swinging your mouse as fast as you can to get it to move in a straight line. If that makes any sense. That does not make sense to me because I've not used that program, so hopefully some of you guys have. But I kind of get, I think, where he's trying to go with that. I pulled over, I got out of my car, and just kind of stared in the direction that it went, not sure what to think or do. I stood there for about a minute holding onto the door, just waiting for something to happen before I got back into my van and started driving north again. At this point, I'm just driving and trying to puzzle out what I just saw. Maybe the government has some really fancy drone things that they wanted to test or calibrate. Maybe all of those concussions finally caught up with me and I'm beginning to lose my mind. Maybe it was a spacecraft from another world or interdimensional object doing some freaky stuff. I was confused as heck, and I just kept trying to rationalize what had happened for maybe 5 minutes, and then it friggin' came back. Once again, I came to the point where the road ahead sort of straightened out for a bit, and then from my 3 o'clock, it zooped back into place in front of me. Once again, it was illuminating everything around me, and it was clearly some 15 to 25 foot wide, perfect spear, a few hundred feet in front of me, and only about 80 feet in the air. Sorry guys, my cat was trying to pet the tripod there, so I had to adjust for that. Perfectly stationary, always at the same distance, never jiggling or wavering, never seemingly getting a single foot closer or further away. At this point, I was feeling angry in a way. I let out some expletives and tried accelerating at it for a few seconds, but didn't get any closer to it. Not that I really wanted to get any closer to the thing necessarily, I just had no friggin' clue what else I was supposed to do but drive faster down the road, I guess. The spear hung eerily above me, forever out of reach, for only about 15 seconds this time, before silently shooting over the horizon to my 10 o'clock, and that was the last time that I saw it. I drove the rest of the way to my destination in silence. What in the heck was that? Did I just see some stuff I wasn't supposed to? Was it a drone thing? Why didn't it make any noise? Why did it keep coming back and matching my speed? Why was it so close to me? What logical, fancy, sciencey thing could do that? Who in the world would ever believe me if I told them? Am I going to turn into some UFO conspiracy nut job? Can hallucinations be that persistent and clear? I experienced something I couldn't explain, and it really messed with me. And somehow I got to sleep that night after laying there for a while, racking my brain for some tidy, rational bow to wrap up the whole experience with, so it could be tucked away as just another memory. I didn't tell anyone what I saw for about 5 years. I recently told my parents and a couple friends the story, but I'm sure some of them think I'm making it up or tripping or something. I'm not entirely sure why I stayed up till 1 a.m. writing this out. or if literally anyone will ever read it. We did read it, so I wish they knew that, but not sure if I'll feel better or worse after I hit post, but something compelled me to type out my messed up experience so that I can't explain away, messes with my head sometimes, and I'm sure most people will just believe it's some creative writing exercise or attempt at making something creepy or something. Sorry, I'm kind of long-winded and rambly. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions or similar experiences or possible explanations if you'd like. Just thought I'd share my strange encounter. Thanks for reading, if anyone did. Hope you all have a good day today. Well, that was nice. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, so this one's kind of an interesting one. I honestly believe whatever this experience was, I do believe him fully. I believe the experience happened. Like I said in the first part, I clipped out most of his expletives that he used during it. He's clearly when he's putting this memory down here on paper, so to speak, very worked up. This does not sound like a project somebody came up with to just creep out some people on Reddit. This sounds like somebody who actually lived a story and, you know, is really creeped out by it. And he mentions in the beginning on part 1 that he has nightmares still sometimes from it. So that makes me sad that it affected him that way. I've never had any experience like this, so I can't even offer my but I do think it was paranormal. I'm obviously it's unidentified, but I'm leaning towards something not man-made because I think it would have made a sound. That's my first thoughts on, you know, like I think like a drone of that size or a aircraft of that size, that low, would have made some kind of a sound. And he consistently sees it as a spear and bright white light. Any other type of like aircraft typically has to have red, blue, different color running lights for safety reasons, for landing. I'm not familiar with any drones of that kind of size, like that they would. Why would they fly a drone over the road and just bother a car with their bright lights if it was something man-made, you know? Like, there's creating a safety issue. Really, that light could have messed with him, or could have scared him and swerved him off the road, you know? Thankfully he got himself together and just kept the drive on and got through it. But I think for me, what's the creepiest part about this read is that, like, he saw it, right, and it was already just completely crazy. And then he sees it again, and it comes back, and it's, what? You know, and it leaves. And then it comes back again, you know, like 3 times. Like, it was, like, literally checking him out. And I'm not sure what its intentions were. Hopefully it was just curiosity, but I'd love to know what you guys think of this story. Like, drop me your thoughts in the comments below. And please hit all the buttons and the repost for me if you can. Really trying to get my views up so I can bring in people who really do enjoy these stories. So I appreciate everyone who participates in reading them and shares for me and comments. So thank you for the UFO suggestion last night. I forgot the user who asked for it. I will get something up for the other poster on that thread as well soon. And I thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day.